Have you ever seen a machine that's louder than a maxed out jet airliner? I doubt it. But in the middle of Pennsylvania, there is something that is louder and might as well be alive. We are checking it out right here.
I'm Zach, and you're watching Marterline Studios. What's going on, everybody? We're here at this really cool spot in Horseshoe Curve.
In early August, I moved to Pennsylvania for college, for Penn State Altoona's Railroad Transportation Engineering program. And I can't lie, it's awesome. Every weekend, the guys and I pile into a car and we head out on these spontaneous rail fanning trips. Half of the time, we don't even know where we're going. We just follow the rails, hiking through the Alleghenies, chasing the evening sky until we find some amazing spot deep inside the mountains. It's virtually non-stop action, and the ACU helpers screaming up grade, the sightings of heritage units practically every time we head out. It's amazing. And while all of this stuff is great, sometimes I feel like something is missing. This place fills that void. In the town of Port Clinton, with under 300 residents, you might not think that much is happening here, except for the trains. Port Clinton is home to the Reading and Northern Railroad, and my family and some friends had the chance to meet the man behind it, a guy named Andy Miller.
Toilet paper you said too, right?
Huh?
Toilet paper.
A lot of toilet paper. Yeah, we serve.
So this is our main line. Reading's that way, Scranton's that way.
What is?
Reading.
Andy's story is something that you would not normally see from a railroad CEO. He started out as a school teacher, later working in the precious metals business, and then in the early 1980s he bought a stretch of the old Reading Railroad to run tourist trains. What he didn't realize though is that he was building something much bigger. Year after year, he kept buying more and more abandoned lines, eventually turning the railroad into a vital freight carrier, moving coal out of the region. And today, the Reading Northern just keeps growing. A fun fact about the steam shop is that it was actually based off of a model. No, actually, it was. It was modeled after Andy's childhood Atlas roundhouse. It's pretty crazy. I was absolutely blown away and so grateful that we got a tour of the Port Clinton shops by the man himself. As we were walking around, it felt like Mr. Mueller was one of the people, regularly greeting his employees and asking how their days were. It really felt like you were stepping back in time, into a time where large railroads cared more about their employees than their trains. But what sets the Reading Northern apart from every single other Class II railroad is its steam program. The Reading and Northern has two full-size steam locomotives, the 425, a 462 Pacific, originally from the Gulf Mobile and Northern Railroad, built in January of 1928, and its flagship steam locomotive, the Reading 2102. The 2102 has a pretty big history around the area. Not only was it one of the original steam locomotives that ran on the line, it was also one of 3 T1s on the original Reading Line steam program, labeled the Reading Rambles. The other two were 2100 and 2124. I was actually able to see 2124 while chasing the 2102. While it is a shell of its former self, it is cool to see another example of the locomotive. It's hard to imagine 2 T1s double heading along the line, but believe it or not, it happened.
Lucky the boy who one day could say he had seen them in action. For by 1960, the age of steam had virtually ended, and the thrill of seeing a mammoth engine at work was to be only a happy memory of childhood.
Chase up to Pittston and return was ridiculous. You could hear the engine for miles, and when it fought, it fought.
Yo, oh
The ash. There's ash.
Does not know what's happening today, and Whitehaven's burning down.
So what just happened was that they just blew through town. Car alarms went off. They were slipping. We could hear them slipping, but that was just ridiculous. So let's get going. Of a surprise, the F units are here. Oh shoot.
Yeah, it should be good. It should be good.
Yeah. F units.
Our final spot of the day was a Y just beyond Nesquehoning Station. This was where 2102 would make its final push, and tens of rail fans lined the sidelines, watching and waiting for the sound of a distant whistle in the distance.